vlog. So it's the next day and I'm watching my little cousin, and the signatures are all still on, well, somewhat. And I have dance today at like 3:15 and I'm exhausted and I really don't want to go. But yeah, I'll let you know if anything interesting happens. I'll also tell you a story about meeting everyone yesterday, so bye. Okay, so it's the same day, but I thought I would tell you the story. So I got to, so it was at Logan Square Auditorium in Chicago, and we got there around, well, my mom and I got there around 12:30, and her bus was there and everything. Everyone was there, like Maya was there, Yayan was there, Bella was already there, and like I was under the impression that Tana was already there and Ashley was already there. But all of a sudden, an Uber pulls up and Tana gets out of the car with all of her makeup, and Ashley is already ready and gets out of the car. And I'm like, typical, like, it's a typical teenage thing. You know, what are you gonna do? But then we waited for, like, Amari came out and was, he was entertaining us. And then Corinne showed up and she was entertaining us too. She was like, sorry, like Tana's running late. And then like 20 minutes later, they all, like, they were ready. So we walked in and they're like scanning our tickets and we're still waiting for Tana to get ready. And Corinna and Amari walk up the stairs and like Maya walks up the stairs. It's mainly Corinna, Amari, and Maya were all walking up and down the stairs. And then all of a sudden you hear a whole bunch of screaming, and Tana comes in, but she takes the back staircase way. So she's finally ready, and we all get brought up, and all of a sudden, like, people are like crowding this doorway, and we're like walking through a hallway to go meet Tana. And as I like get to the top of the stairs, Bella is like right there, like at the top of the stairs. And then I look down the hall and Ashley is there and Amari's there, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I wasn't expecting all of them to just be like right there. So I like get up there and I'm like shook. And my mom goes to Bella and she goes, can you sign my boob? And I was like, Mom. So I hand Bella my phone and she starts signing it, and I compliment her outfit and she's like, you don't understand, like my boobs are about to fall out of this. So we started laughing and we just went down the line, and I didn't really talk to a lot of them at first. Like, I just got them to sign my phone, but I talked to Ashley and I was like, all of you guys are wearing white, like I feel like I didn't get the memo because I was wearing a black dress. And she's like, oh well, you're matching Tana. And I was like, lit. So anyways, so people are waiting and I see her, like I can see her, and I'm like, yo, she's not just a screen anymore, like that's her. And I was like sitting on the edge, I was sitting on the edge of the like balcony, and like my butt looked really good, so I was like, Ma, take a picture of me. And I look over and my mom is talking to Corinna, Bella, and Ashley, and I'm like, and all of a sudden I hear Corinna go, Hannah, I met your mom. And I look over and she's like, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I get a little baggie that says like Tana Mongeau, like VIP, and a poster, and I toss it down to my mom, and I get up to meet Tana, and I don't know really what to say because I don't want to act like a crazy fan, because like I'm a fan, but I'm not like crazy psycho screaming for her every 10 seconds. So I get up there and I'm like, hey homegirl, and she was like, oh my gosh, she like started laughing and she was like, I like your outfit. And I like hit this awkward pose. I was like, thanks. And she started talking to me and we took pictures. She took, like, Olivia, her tour manager, took a picture. Her tour mom took a picture of us, and she was like, you inspired my pose, because she's posting like this. And I'll insert the picture here. And so then I'm like, hey, this might be a little weird, but like, will you sign my boob? And she was like, of course, like I sign boobs all the time. And I was like, sweet. And as she was signing my boob, she goes, I feel like I'm signing so many underage girls' boobs. And I was like, I'm not that underage. She was like, well, how old are you? I was like, I'm 16. And she goes, you're so underage. And like, you know that high-pitched scream she does? Like, yeah, that's what she did. And she started laughing. And then I started walking away, and she's like, where are you going? And I was like, huh? And she like grabbed my phone out of my hand, like signed it, and then was like, we need to take selfies. And I was like, oh yeah, like I'm sorry, like I'm a mess. And she was like, girl, me too. And I was like, looks like we have something in common. And she was like laughing. We took a whole bunch of pictures. I'll insert them probably over my face. And then so she gave me a hug, and she was like, I'll see you later. And I was like, see you. So I walked down, and I like show my mom, like, because she didn't think I was actually gonna do it, but like, boom, it's kind of rubbing off. It's kind of rubbing off. It's right there. I'll get to everything else later. So I walk downstairs, and I'm like, I did it. And she starts laughing at me, and just kidding. Anyways, so well, here's a picture of me and my mom. So yeah. So anyways, then I go over to Bella, I think it was. No, first I go over to Corinna. I go over to Corinna, and I'm talking to her, and we take a picture. Boom. And she goes, and I go, do you want to do something crazy? And she was like, hell yeah, I want to do something crazy. And I was like, I want to sign my other boob. I was like, Tana signed this one. Do you want to sign the other one? And she was like, oh my God, yeah. And as she was signing my boob, she goes, what high school do you go to? And I was like, and she was like, let me guess, you're underage. And I was like, not really. And she was like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 16. And she started laughing, and she signed right there. That's her signature. So then she signed my phone as well. And then I walk away, and I go over to meet Bella. And I'm just like, well, I'm talking to Corinna, and I look over, and Bella is just like sitting on her phone. Like no one's over there by her, so I felt bad. And I was like, Bella, you look sad. Like you look lonely. She's like, will you come sit by me? And I was like, sure. So she like patted the seat, and I went and sat down. And I just kind of like went like this, and she was like, you want to take a picture? And I was like, you want to take a picture? She goes, I do want to take a picture. So she took my phone, and she took a picture. We look really good in this picture. It's like one of my favorite pictures. So then some other guy started talking to her, so like I turned like this way, and Ashley was sitting on the other side of me, and I had no clue. And I was like, oh my God, like Ashley, I just whooped you with my hair. I'm so sorry. And she started laughing, and she was like, oh, like, hey, what's your name? I was like, oh, I'm Hannah. And she was like, oh, nice to meet you. And well, first, before I turned away, I asked Isabella if she wanted to sign my boobs too, so she signed right there. And then I was like, hey, Ashley, everyone else signed my boobs. Do you want to sign it too? She's like, hell yeah, I want to sign your boob. Like, that's so cool. So, yeah, this is where she signed. And then, so we're talking, and Maya comes over, and Maya's like, I want to sign your boob too. So Maya signed it there. And so I turned to Ashley, and she was like, are you underage? And I was like, a little. And I was like, I'm 16. She's like, oh, when did you turn 16? And I was like, in April. And she was like, no way. And I was like, yeah. She's like, we're both Aries. And Maya was like, I'm an Aries too. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, when's your birthday? And I was like, oh, April 16th. And she like freezes. She's like, what? And I was like, what? And she goes, that's my birthday. And I thought she was kidding, and she's not kidding. We share the same birthday. So she wanted me to sign something for her so I could put my Snapchat name down and my Instagram name. And so I did that, and we're talking, and Bella taps me, and she goes, I have a question. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, do you get dick? And I was like, what? And she's like, do you get dick? And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, you do. And she started hitting me, and I was like, I didn't say that. And she's like, would you suck dick? And I was like, Bella. She's like, you would. She starts screaming, and they found out, well, they wanted me to tell them the story of when I went to Milwaukee with my friend and like threw up in her toilet because of alcohol consumption. So I told them that story, and they thought it was so funny. And I think it was Tana's stylist. She was like, someone has to add this girl on Snapchat. I want to follow her life. And I was like, lit, like Bella can add me. So Bella, Maya, and Ashley all added me, and so then I turned back to Ashley, and we're just having a conversation, and you know, we're just talking, and Ashley asked me the same question. Ashley goes, do you get dick? And I was like, oh my gosh, like what is the big deal with this? And they're like, she's like, you do. And I was like, I didn't say that. And she's like, you do. She goes, you can't get dick until you have a ring. So I drew this little, that's why I have this little mark, because I pretended like I drew it, and she's like, okay, now you're fine. So then they were needed, and well, I gave Ashley my VIP band to wear because I was tired of it and she wanted to wear it, so I handed it to her, and she got up and walked away, and I forgot she had it on. So I had to get Maya's attention because I was like, yo, Ashley still has my VIP band on, and she was like, I'm sorry, like I'm trying to come, like people were like blocking me and not letting me leave, so she just threw it down. And later I saw her and I hit her with my VIP pass, and I was like, Ashley, really? And she goes, Hannah, I'm so sorry, like I was trying to get down. I was like, I'm kidding, like it's okay. So then we get up to the front, like then the show starts, and you know, it's a pretty good show, and this poor girl passes out, and I felt so bad for her. People were recording because like Tana obviously went down to help, and people were recording her, and I was like, that's so rude. And Amari went over the microphone and he was like, that's really disrespectful to like record her, this poor girl, like it would be really appreciated if you didn't do that. So then my uncle came to pick us up afterwards, and he was like, he texted my mom, and he was like, some bleach blonde just walked onto the bus. And I was like, that's Tana, like he did not pay one dime, and he literally just saw her. And I just thought it was really funny. And then, so that was my experience. That's basically the video today. Not really doing much, so yeah, those are all the signatures. They're kind of messy. They stayed on. So this is Maya, Tana, Isabella, Ashley, and Corinna. So yeah, like and subscribe to my channel. I'm sorry I haven't been posting videos. I will start posting them again, and I will see you next time. Hey vlog, so it's the next day, and I'm watching my little cousin, and the signatures are all still on, well, somewhat, and I have dance today at like 3:15, and I'm exhausted, and I really don't want to go, but yeah, I'll let you know if anything interesting happens. I'll also tell you a story about meeting everyone yesterday, so bye.